Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Drawing for Tattooers. I'm James Wisdom. I am getting warmed up. If you are new here, we like to do some warm-ups, just get the blood pumping. I like to draw these ellipses. They are challenging. I suppose I never really get them right, but I guess I enjoy this little failure. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. Today we have a very special guest, friend of the show, and also live drawing streamer on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network, Jason Leeser. Jason, good morning, buddy.
Hey, James. How's it going, man?
It's good, man.
Good
I'm
morning.
looking forward to having you today. And look,
Yeah, it'll
I'm
be a good
mindlessly
time.
sketching.
I'm still
Mindlessly
getting a
sketching.
couple of things set up so I can draw along with you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I hope all of you out there are drawing along, getting set up as well. I guess I don't know if we're yeah. Uh, I am going to go ahead and I'll click this off and we'll get to the, okay, we'll get into it. Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. Again, thank you for joining us on Reinventing the Tattoo Network, where tattooers, collectors, and the curious are all encouraged to join with us on these live and in real life events. We're streaming out several days a week, and with your help, we've become a quality network of live and on-demand programming. You can learn more by visiting reinventingtattoo.com. You can also find us on all of the major streaming platforms. We're on YouTube. We are on Facebook. Depending on where you're seeing us right now, you can also find us in podcast form. So enjoy all of the latest and greatest right here on Reinventing the Tattoo. You can also find Jason Leeser's stream Mondays at noon Eastern Time right here on Reinventing. I want to now, let's see. Looking for the link. Mickey, the link for this show is on the Reinventing the Tattoo homepage. So feel free to hop on. You're welcome. Anybody's welcome to join us today. We want to plug a couple of upcoming events. So let me throw up some QR codes right now. Coming up in May, Hell City in Columbus, Ohio. This is Derb Morrison is the promoter, puts on this incredible tattoo festival convention in Columbus, Ohio every year. It's amazing. Jason, you are going to be tattooing at this event, so we can't wait to live stream from Hell City. Coming up next, let's see, we'll show this one. The Tattooerpreneur. Can you say that 3 times fast? Tattooopreneur. It is a portmanteau of a tattooer and entrepreneur sort of jammed together. If you didn't catch that before, so if you are a tattooer, you are an independent contractor. Hypothetically, you're doing all of your own business. This is the conference for you. Scan the QR code and get your tickets now. It's going to be June 23rd through the 25th at Red Tree in Columbus, Ohio. So really looking forward to that. That is, Tattoopreneur is still pretty catchy. Thank you, Kyle. I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. Excellent. What else do we got going on? We've got some really interesting things. I want to plug this episode of Reinventing. This was a Reinventing interview, and it features researcher John Swerk. he talks about the photochemistry of tattoos. This is a really important topic. Later this week, I'm going to be going to meet John's work. I'm going to ask him some questions. Gabe Ripley's going to be there. We're going to shoot some pictures of the laboratory, hopefully. But we want to learn more about the science behind tattoo inks. And John's work is a great person to ask about that. Please check out this episode. Again, you can scan this QR code. It should take you there, I hope. But you can also look up the photochemistry of tattoos with John's work. Really great interview hosted by Guy Atchison and Lauren Gregory. They both ask a series of really incredible questions, and it's all the more important these days. So I really want to let me back in. Yeah, sorry, Jason. I don't know what happened, buddy. Here, there you are. I didn't know you got kicked out. I thought you I thought you had to go get prepared.
No,
well,
no,
anyway.
my Wi-Fi died.
Oh no. Well,
yeah. So sorry
well,
about
awesome. So I have been I've been plugging away, doing the duties.
Mm-hmm.
We've got mouths to feed here. So I am again super excited to have you here. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. Yeah.
So again, we were just going to freestyle today.
Yeah.
we have some topics to talk about. So we would love it if you joined us in the chat, or feel free to hop on.
Absolutely.
Ask Jason some questions. You're in the hot seat. But also, I figured we could draw a little bit today. I have a drawing that I wanted to show you and get some feedback from you on. So I'll get that queued up in a minute. But in the meantime, where can we find your work? How can we learn more about you?
Nope, wrong one. Let's see here. Yes, that's. There we go. So you should see my Instagram pop up right up here. You can find me on Instagram at Philly Inc. You can also email me, Jason at reinventingthetattoo.com. I'm fancy like that. I've got the reinventing the tattoo email now. I'm official, which is cool. Do I have any qualms tattooing a diabetic? I've tattooed plenty of them, type 1 and type 2.
So that's really was that a question from the chat?
Yeah, that was a question that just popped up from one of the Facebook pages.
I think we should. Yeah, it would be really great to go into that a little bit more, like some of the health concerns.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, I think anybody who's been tattooing for a while, you're going to run into people with all sorts of health issues. But what could be contraindicated, right, for a person who might be afflicted with type 2 diabetes, for instance?
Oh no, I was going to say there are very few conditions in which I won't tattoo anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously the standards apply. Like if you're dirty, if you're smelly, if you're rude, if you're late, you're probably not getting tattooed that day. Right. Those are baseline standards. Beyond that, I've tattooed people over stretch marks, over scars, tummy tuck scars, C-section scars, abdominal scars, surgery scars, super thin 86-year-old tattoo, first tattoo on, someone that was 86, their skin was like tissue paper. Did the tattoo. I'm not really someone that, really strays away from anything. I believe that, it's going to require, especially if you're a diabetic, it's going to require some extra attention with the aftercare. You're not going to heal in the exact same way as everyone else. That's to be expected when you have diabetes. Beyond that, my execution of the tattoo is going to happen and it's going to look great. And, whether or not you're taking care of it appropriately during the healing process in accordance with what your body needs, that's a different story. But yeah, I don't see any reason why diabetics can't get tattooed.
Totally. I think that it's my understanding that it should at least be broached, the subject that if you are having any issues with type 2 diabetes and you seem to, if you're having any health concerns, you may want to reconsider getting tattoos below the knee, for instance. Not saying that
Yes.
it can't be done. I'm definitely not saying that it can't be done, but it might be advisable to rethink, uh, to just to reconsider, or perhaps like consult your physician. So there are many places where it would probably be much fewer complications, for instance. So yeah, no, we do have to be ethical, and we do have to serve everyone, right? So if it doesn't matter if they have a bloodborne disease, for instance, if they're healthy and they wish to get a tattoo, it really is I think our role to perform that for them. But again, like you said, be safe, practice universal precautions.
Yeah.
And in that respect, I think um, you're gonna really be doing the ethical thing. Well, I'm checking out some of your work. I think we're checking it out. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
your
Yeah. Yeah.
Instagram page.
Yeah,
You're
that's
also
a
on
TikTok
TikTok.
video I shot that yeah, I'm not really on TikTok a whole lot, so please don't send me messages there. I'm not going to see my
Ah!
time. Um I go on like every now and then when I really have like a little bit of time to kill. Maybe it's like
Mm.
5-10 minutes here or there, but that's about it. And I don't usually have that much time to kill, so
Well,
you
I'm kind of
I
I'm
always tell
checking
people
out.
just reach out to me on Insta or email.
Right.
I'm
No,
trying
that's
to
the best way.
consolidate.
Uh, well, that's interesting. If you're using a software suite of software programs like Tattoo Now, you can
Highly
funnel all of
recommend looking
those
into that. Yeah.
communication streams into one place, the one box. So I hear
Mhm.
you. I think it is challenging to meet everybody where they're at sometimes.
Yeah, I
But
keep
everyone
hearing about
has
that, and I
their
keep needing to reach out to Gabe about that,
you gotta
about
you
that
gotta
kind
you
of
gotta check it
software.
out. It'll
Yeah, I
it'll
mean,
it'll
I
be
I
awesome.
use it for certain other things, but still,
Hmm.
it's like that could really come in handy. Um,
Definitely.
I would want to set it up a little bit differently, but I mean, I'm obviously that can be done. So, but yeah,
Well, I think the point is, it's like everyone has their preferred method of communication, and it can be a
correct.
challenge for tattooers to be able to respond to Instagram messages, respond to Facebook Messenger, respond to TikTok, respond to text message, respond to email. All of those are coming at you all over the place. So having it all focused into one box, if you like, one inbox, where that way you
Hence the
can,
name
you
One Box.
know, yeah, one box, one inbox, where you can then get a chance uh, to really communicate more effectively. I think that's it's really a great tool.
Oh,
But these
is it?
tattoos are great, Jason. This is like
Oh, thank you,
all
sir.
this traditional dragon that we've been looking at here. It's very beautiful. Talk a little bit about your, you know, love of this aesthetic, because I do see that you use. I'm going to say it seems fairly specifically influenced by Japanese
Hmm.
tattooing, but there's certainly a Western take on it.
Correct.
What
Yeah.
tell us more. We'd love to learn more.
So I became fascinated many years ago with the whole concept of being inspired by one culture but executing it in the style of a different culture, right? Kind of like a cultural mashup. Um, I look at a lot of Canadian tattoo artists, specifically Anthony Tex, James Tex, Chris Dunn, Steve Moore. I've got like a laundry list of them. But it seems like that's exactly what they do. I love to be inspired by a lot of um, Asian mythologies and stories and legends from other countries. And then I try to take it and apply, almost more of like a fine art aspect to it. The one that we're looking at now is rendered in a semi-traditional way where it has very flat scale work, but it's still got some drop shadows. It's got some perspectives, areas that are going to lighten up as they heal. Like the tip of that tail, that's going to lighten up and be almost super super light, almost non-existent as it heals. I wish I had healed photos of this. This client lives about an hour and a half away, so I rarely get to see him. And this was done over 2 sessions, but still, they came in, they gave me the creativity and the freedom, and they said, listen, I love your work. I want you to do a medium-sized Japanese dragon on me. We sat down, we talked about it through a consultation, and I said, okay, well, are you because I'm thinking medium size. Okay, 8.5 by 14 to me is medium size. To most people, they're like, oh my god, that's huge. But 8.5 by 14 to me is like a nice medium sized tattoo, right? Not when you look at the dragon back piece that I did, like that's a big tattoo. Um, anything smaller than like 8.5 by 11 is a small tattoo, you know, but that's just the way my mind works. So we started talking about it, and they loved the idea of dragon flying up. And I said, okay, cool. Did you want whole body, partial body? What are you looking for? What are you looking at? They wanted to go with a whole body, and I said, okay, that's going to make things a little tricky. It'll probably be a little bit bigger than you think, and it is a little bit bigger than they thought. But from there, we're going to expand off of that, and we've got like a whole cherry blossom branch with like floating petals that they want to bring all the way up diagonally up across the top of their back. So, but yeah, when you get fun clients that let you do fun stuff, it's great. But I always try to fuse in like some of these more fine art elements, drop shadows, areas of no line, areas with gray lines, so that they're not going to heal up very dark. It just creates that sense of depth, that sense of um, dimension in something that is traditionally rendered in a very flat way. And I love seeing that happen with different things too. Like, look at a lot of the more old school traditional motifs that have been done, American traditional motifs like swallows and sparrows, right? Hop onto Pinterest and do a search for, sparrow or swallow tattoo, and you'll see them being rendered in a much more realistic manner. Um, and it's fascinating to see like the same concept rendered in a different way. And that's kind of what I try to go with for a lot of the things that I do.
Outstanding. Let's look at another one.
Also, I tend to be long winded, so feel free to just be like, okay, we get it at any point in time, because I do repeat myself a lot.
Well, here,
Oh,
this
that's a
is
good
some of
one with
your
the,
this is some of your drawing work, your
yeah,
digital drawing work, and this is a subject that you actually teach a seminar on.
I do.
You're going to be teaching seminars on how to use Procreate. Of course, you can find your seminar in the
Hmm.
Reinventing the Tattoo, the book, right? Guy Atchison has given
Yes,
you a chapter, which is
yes,
pretty amazing. You know what I mean? I think that's a great honor. So I'm terribly jealous, but
yeah.
also, it's amazing. So you've got a whole chapter in Reinventing the Tattoo on how to use Procreate, and so you are really kind of a go-to person for this. I want to throw up a QR code right now because you're going to be teaching at the Tattoopreneur
Hmm.
conference.
That's going to be a basic seminar that I will be teaching there. We're not really going to dive too far down the rabbit hole into it. We're going to be sticking to mostly the basics. And because we want to center it on more of a business aspect, hence the name, we're going to be talking about streamlining your efficiency with it. getting things set up for everyday production as opposed to custom one-off stuff. For example, if you get a walk-in that comes in, having a preset blank canvas size set ready to go, all you have to do is go to new document, add, here's the size right here at the top, boom, that's going to print out on letter paper and it's going to be accurate to size. That way you know what you're doing and you can accurately size things up to save you time from being like, okay, well, that looks cool, but like, okay, now we got to shrink it down a little bit. Now we got to make it a little bit bigger. Let's streamline everything. So we're going to be diving into some basic features to help you streamline your everyday process in Procreate for maximum efficiency. But it's going to be covering the basics, a lot of document sizing, resizing, how to, we might get into brush manipulation a little bit, but how to set your canvases up for maximum success. We'll be going into a little bit of like some of the tips and tricks and some of the hacks. It's going to be a pretty light version of the seminar that I do for Paradise Gathering, because I will be doing 2 different Procreate seminars at Paradise Gathering, one for basics and one for more advanced. Yeah, that's the one.
Speaking of, yes, right now, scan the
Yeah.
code and learn more about the Paradise Tattoo Gathering. Again, you can catch Jason's seminar at the Tattoopreneur Conference coming up this June at Red Tree in Ohio, or the Paradise Tattoo Gathering at beautiful Jiminy Peak. Jiminy Peak is in
Massachusetts.
if I'm not mistaken. It's very close
Correct.
to New York State, I believe.
Very true. Yes. And it's surrounded by cinnamon trees.
It is
Smells
a
wonderful.
beautiful. It's a paradise.
It
Hence the
is. It really
It
is.
is truly a paradise, and it's a sort of a nice bookend for the year of go to Hell City, go to Paradise. Each one so unique, so different, but also, yeah, Hell City. Speaking of, we should throw that up. Hell City, that's coming right up. I mean, it's like a month away.
Yeah. That
It's like
is
1 month away.
the premier tattoo convention in the country. It's one of the most difficult to get into. It is got the best lineup out of any show that I have seen in this country ever. You're talking to everyone. You've got guys from Paul Booth and Derb Morrison. Marshall Bennett's going to be there. And Marshall Bennett's been doing fine line black and gray tattoos for a long, long time. And they age unbelievably well. One of my friends that lives in the area has been tattooed by a number of very, very high-end artists. And their Marshall Bennett tattoo that they got 15, 20 years ago now looks incredible to this day.
This is
But
true.
he will be there.
Yeah, this is true. Fine line tattoos can be very fine and small, and they will hold up. A lot of
When
times,
I
I think
say
the quote fine line stuff that we see, or the things that people want, are generally done with needle groupings that aren't really appropriate for what we would
super itty
consider
bitty.
fine line. You know what I mean? And honestly, they spread so much because there's a lot more ink in there. You're going to be getting larger ink deposits with larger needle groupings. So if you
So
have
I
a
only use a
single
14
needle
round
or a
liner.
3, if you have something small like that, you're going to only put in just a little bit. But the problem or the challenge, I think, is it's very challenging to control that small of a needle, those really fine, small groupings. It's a
Requires a ton of
challenge.
precision.
So I think that it's funny. It's like they're quite ubiquitous. Like you see them everywhere. People kind of have an expectation about them. But
Yeah.
I
So let me
believe
correct
it
myself.
should be your special. If you want to specialize in that and really dedicate yourself to doing them, like you were talking about Marshall Bennett, for example. But there are so many other really great fine line people.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, there is a real niche for it. However, it's not just something that anybody can just do. Even though it seems simple enough, I do believe that it's it's not so simple, right? They're
No,
they're
it is
very
very
technically
not so
demanding.
simple. I've done
So
a few of them.
yeah,
I've done, tiny little flowers the size of a quarter before, and they are not very easy. To get that amount of precision and control, and to have like the perfect stretch with the perfect amount of needle hang to be able to accurately see where you're going and what you're doing, it requires a lot of patience and it requires a lot of practice and a client that is going to sit absolutely still. I do have to give the client a lot of respect on that as well.
totally.
Um,
No,
but
totally.
yeah, huge, great lineup this year at Hell City. Can't wait
Hmm.
to go. I'll be working it alongside Seth Mushrush, who just joined me in the Puerto Rico Tattoo Convention this past year. He will not be able to make it this coming year, which is a shame. I was looking forward to that, but that's okay. He'll be back the year after that. So come and see me and Seth. We're currently booking appointments for Hell City. So if you want to get tattooed at the best tattoo convention in the country, hit me up. Let me know. I'll be happy to get you in.
So you have spots available.
I do. I do have plenty of time available.
Amazing.
Um, I specifically, especially when I travel and I'm working at a show that I've never worked at before, I always try to leave at least one day for walk up tattoos. The reason being is because to me, part of the reason why you go to work at a show is to tattoo people you've never met before, to build your clientele base, get out there, start building that reputation at another convention in another area that you've never been to before, but how can you do that if you're not tattooing people from there?
No, it's
So
that is so true. Well, all right. So since I've got you,
mhm.
I was hoping that I could show you my drawing that I
Yeah,
made
pull it up.
based on your exercise that you led for the subscribers exclusive drawing
Oh,
group.
yeah.
All right, let me back up a little bit.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, look at that.
Well, this is a particular state of it, but let me see if I can't show the animation.
Are you gonna do the video replay?
Maybe if I can.
Sweet.
Maybe. Hmm. I guess I don't have it. Oh well. Well, this was my drawing that I made. I wanted to
You
get some
can't access.
feedback from you.
Is this just the screenshot from the iPad?
No, I have some layers.
Oh, okay.
There's a few layers.
I
But
was gonna say, if this was your iPad, if this is a live view on your iPad, you should be able
mhm.
to access the video replay straight from Procreate.
Yeah, I don't it doesn't seem to be there
Oh, yeah,
for whatever reason.
that
So
happens.
I'm unable to do the replay, unfortunately. But here's the final result, the final look. I wanted to thank you for leading the drawing group that night. That was very cool. Every Monday night, a group of us get together. It's a subscribers exclusive drawing group. It's led by Sandy McAndrew most of the time, but Jason actually was generous and came on and led a drawing exercise. And this was the pattern that we used. So I have a lot of layers, and so I don't know. Perhaps I could show what the actual. Let me send it all the way up here to the top. Give me a second, gang. Procreate is complicated,
It can
but I
be.
love all of the flexibility of it, to be honest. And I do believe that getting some guidance on it can be very, very helpful. It can also streamline your workflow quite a bit.
Well, it's
So
like it's. I like to
there
compare
we
it
go.
to anything else. It's a
Maybe.
tool. It's a tool to put in your toolbox,
Jeez
right?
Louise.
You know, it's
Well,
like being
I-
able to paint with oils. That's another
yeah,
tool.
of
Um,
course.
the more tools that you acquire and you become proficient with, the better you will be.
I was unable to, I'm unable to show my screen. I have some technical difficulties with our streaming platform that we use, and uh, getting to show my iPad. I have my computer is elderly. My computer is elderly, and OBS doesn't work for me. Also, Restream is a little too fast for my equipment. So anyway, I got this. So this is as good as I can do. But I figured I could I wanted to show you. I wanted to thank you for leading the group. This was a fun project, challenging because we have two focal points: this
Correct.
bird and then this lotus flower. But I think the part that I enjoyed the most, or what I think is successful here, is the silhouette. And that was something that you really emphasized in terms of making sure that we were able to have a focal point, as it were. It'd be easy to
Hmm.
get kind of lost in the background. There's a lot going on back there.
Absolutely. Well,
But
that was the initial challenge, right? Was how can we create priority on different aspects? And maybe people wanted to create more of a priority on the lotus or the crane or the mountains, but that was the exercise, right? To really push ourselves to put emphasis in different places and, to try to make sure that we want to emphasize was going to be emphasized and everything else was going to end up being secondary. And you executed this really, really well. I can see the definite values and the definite contrast in there. You've got your darkest darks and your brightest whites in that lotus flower down at the bottom. Um, it's also sized proportionately to become more in the foreground. It's going to make it more of a focal point. Uh, you definitely put the emphasis where you needed to. The crane becomes secondary in that case. Um, so I'm immediately looking in a linear fashion towards the background, with the background obviously just being it's there, but like it's kind of vague. You don't not getting too much definition in anything. It does create that nice backlighting though, which does cast a lot of those shadows into the foreground. Yeah, excellent. I think you nailed it. And I love the fact that you added that tiny little bit of green down at the bottom. And then you've got this nice yellowish kind of highlight coming onto the lotus flower and the top of the crane wing. Um, Definitely adding that tiny little tint of color in there helps tie things together in that aspect. So, bravo.
oh, thank you very much. I had a chance to. Killian Moon saw this
Hmm.
because he was on our call, and he said that he liked this very minimal color version as well. So
Yes.
I came to appreciate it. I was showing a valued study where I took out all of the color, but when I just because of the way the layers ended up laying, this little bit of color sort of popped up. So it was a happy accident, if you like. But I'm glad that you like it. I think that I appreciate the compliment, and
Yeah.
I do think that it was a very challenging exercise. But I like the things that you were saying. The more that we can challenge ourselves, the more that we're going to be able to bring to our clients and of course our own work. So meeting together like this, being able to give each other some feedback and also some community, I think is so important.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I thank you for checking it out. I really appreciate the exercise, and also I'm looking forward to your upcoming seminars on Procreate. It's
Yeah, it's
always
going to
great
be
to learn more, and so
uh,
I'm excited
absolutely. And I've got a whole bunch of little tricks I'm going to be pulling out and teaching people. Ways to make instant line drawings, ways
about
to be able to print off photographic images, but have them come out in a way that you can run them straight through a thermal fax. and boom, there's your stencil, right? There's certain ways that you can do things in Procreate that not a whole lot of people are aware of, but these are things that I picked up on. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of like inside little tricks with everyone.
It's
Yeah, I'm really
crazy
excited.
because I remember years ago, I worked at a shop. We didn't even have a Thermafx.
Mm-hmm.
So we were hand drawing. Not only were we hand drawing, of course. Pardon me. Not only were we hand drawing, of course, but we were hand tracing all of the stencils that we would make too. So you better hope that you
God,
nailed
yeah.
it. If you mess that stencil up, it's like
Yep. There
you
goes
gotta get
hours
back
of your
to it.
life you can't get back.
It's an important skill set.
It is.
So a part of me is really appreciative of the Thermafx that I use now. I actually, over the years I've collected a few stencil printing tech, appliances, let's call
Right.
them. But there's nothing like the Thermafx at the shop. It's it's an old school one. It's like it's amazing. It's a workhorse.
Yeah, it's
But I
from
have
probably
backups
the
because again, it's such an
1980s.
important piece. It's such an important piece.
Oh yeah, it's critical.
But I
Anyone out
really
there looking to make a lot of money, invent a it's all you have to do is reverse engineer one of the ones being made by 3M and sell it back to us. I'm telling you,
this
you will make more money than you can ever imagine.
this is for entertainment purposes only.
Yes, truth. That's
All
the
of the
theory.
opinions
That's the
stated
concept. I can't give you a
are
guarantee
not
on
of
that.
the owner. No, I appreciate. I think that's true. It would be really great if at some point this is going to go extinct.
Yes.
It'll become like a '57 Chevy if you get the reference. You know what I mean? They exist, but they're unicorns. It's hard to find it. So
Yes.
I guess I'm pointing at the practice of hand tracing, hand cutting. It's not
Hmm.
your stencils because it really develops your ethic, your practice, your familiarity.
Hmm.
These are all important things that are easily overlooked. Not that you have to jump through all the hoops or reinvent. You don't have to reinvent the tattoo all the time. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But again, there's something really useful about that. We reinvent
Yeah.
the wheel, we reinvent the tattoo, so on and so forth. Why? So we can learn more about the nature of these things. I think I guess those are parts of the process that I really appreciate, and that's what I also see in your work. That you are really invested in the process. You really do a lot of homework, a lot of preparation. You're one of the most prepared people I've ever met.
Thank
If
you.
I can
I
give you this,
appreciate that.
and I mean that with all the sincerity and deference I can, because I've worked with you in conventions and you are on it. I've painted alongside of you. We've actually met in person. We're not just talking heads on a computer. We exist.
That is correct. We
And
do exist.
I've had a chance to see you in action, and you are very generous, and you also you care a lot about your own work, but then about the person that you're working on. And I think that's
Well, that
important.
goes back to what you were talking about earlier with the whole sense of community. You know,
Mm,
um, the community for me is a real big part of everything that I do. So everything that I try to do in my life isn't just for me; it's for me and everyone else. And it's something that's kind of the way that I was brought into this. You know, it's like you're not just out for yourself at a studio. You know, if four walk-ins come through the door and it's you and someone else that aren't busy and are available to take walk-ins, you do two and you give two to your coworker, right? You don't take all four because that's sharing the love, that's being part of the community. That's why I like to travel. That's why I like to work at shows. That's why I like to, do these podcasts and interviews and reach out to different people. By the way, quick little plug here. Coming up today at noon, I'll be interviewing Mickey Schlick. So that is going to be a great show. I can't wait to talk about that. Um, yeah, little side note. So just trying to plug that. So today, noon, me, Mickey Schlick, tune in, same bat time, same bat channel. But community is super important because without the rest of the tattoo community, we'd all be guessing. Learning, going to places, seeing artists like Bob Tyrell or Paul Booth or you or Guy or whoever, being able to go there and talk with them about their process, about how they do what they do. It's important, but without that sense of community, if they don't have that sense of community, it's going to go downhill real quick. If I don't have that sense of community, I'm never going to better myself by approaching that artist. Have that, be a part of the community, be actively a part of it. There's absolutely no downside to being a member of a larger group of people. Well, none that I've found.
This is a great segue. I would love to encourage tattooers out there to join the Alliance of Professional Tattooists.
Yes.
It is an important organization that's advocating on behalf of tattooers. So consider it. You can learn more by visiting safe-tattoos.com.
Am I correct in saying that the Alliance of Professional Tattooists, if you join that you'll paint the portrait of whoever joins?
Who, me?
Yeah. Is that what I just heard you say?
We're gonna have to edit that part out. We're not. No, that would be amazing. But of course, I think, like you were saying, there is a larger group where you can be a part of something, of course, bigger than yourself. I don't really know of any other organization that's positioned like this.
There isn't one.
It really is important, I think, for us to have some unity and some solidarity. This is a really great way to do it. There are dues to pay. You have to pay to be a part of this trade organization. So I don't want to say like this, it's free. It's not free, because there's a lot of work that the organization does. So I want to just encourage everybody to consider it, because there are all kinds of things on the horizon. There are new laws that are being written right now. The APT, or Alliance of Professional Tattooists, is likely the way that tattooers will have a seat at the table to be considered when these new rules go into place.
It's the only way we'll have a voice.
I think so. I don't know or foresee any other way for that to happen. But the more people that join up, again, you have a larger cohort of individuals who have a shared interest, and that is making this industry better, perfecting your craft, networking. There's a lot to be celebrated here. There are also discounts that you get. Members get some discounts and stuff. So, I mean, that's worth looking into. But I think the more important point is, it's not like it's not what we can do for you. It's what you can do for do for the biz. So anyway, if you're on the fence, look into it, do a little bit of research. You may find that it's something that you've been looking for. So anyway, yeah, those are, that's where we're at with the state of things right now. We've got upcoming events, because it's spring. Spring has sprung. It is springtime here, and it's beautiful weather. So it's time to get your tattoos. You're gonna be showing off your skin. So it's time to get that old tattoo fixed up. It's time to get a brand new one. Go see Jason at Hell City. One more plug.
Yeah.
Hell City.
I have plenty of time available. I'm keeping all day Sunday open for walk-ups. If you wanted to book something in advance, especially if something that's going to take more than, say, a couple hours, let me know. We'll get you in on Friday or Saturday. I'm going to try to book those up with appointments all day and keep Sunday open for everyone. So if you want to risk a walk-up, you're more than welcome to. I'll be doing those all day Sunday. Otherwise, let's set something up. Let's get you tattooed.
Fantastic. So I have a QR code up there in the corner. This is to reach Jason's link tree, I believe.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
let me see. I can.
I don't know if I've updated that in a while, but
Oh.
it'll at least get you to my Instagram, which will get you to everywhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be. It
I'm,
should be just
I'm,
fine.
I'm clicking it. I'm clicking it so that way we can. So you get here,
Yeah, there we go.
you can get a hold of Jason by visiting Jason's link tree. Here's your TikTok account, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to Reinventing. Very nice.
Hmm.
Inkwell. So this is your shop. This is
That
your
is
shop
the
site.
studio I work at. Yes.
Very cool. I'm gonna hide this. Let me hide this Hell City so we can check out your shop. So yeah, very very cool. So you're in Southampton, PA. How? Where in Pennsylvania are you located roughly?
So that's about 45 minutes north of Center City, Philadelphia. It's just on the outskirts of the city limits. So it is, we don't necessarily have to abide by all the same restrictions or laws or anything like that as Philadelphia County, which is crazy strict with their regulations. So it's right outside of that. It's about 20 minutes away from Paul Acker's studio. And it's 15 minutes away from Rich Wren's studio. So they're, we're very centralized. There are a lot of studios in the area, which is not always the best, but it is what it is. Um, but yeah, we're right off of Street Road for anyone that might be viewing in the area. And yeah, we've got an amazing team of artists. And anything that you're looking for, we will be happy to accommodate. We do actually have one more artist we need to add to the website. They just started a couple months ago. We just haven't updated the website in a while. So, um,
Well,
but
no,
yeah,
so that's your crew, huh?
yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool. Yeah, very cool. Well, this is a really cool tattoo that I noticed, and I also you shared this image with me, but you also shared some feedback you got on this one. Did you want me to show that?
That's up to you.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'd love to show it.
yeah,
Let me
I'm
punch
all
it up.
about critiques and criticism. Tell me how I can make stuff better.
Well, this one I
Um,
think what did so Guy Atchison actually did this critique, right? Is that correct?
yes,
Yeah. Okay. So I
correct.
think it's appropriate for where we're at now. Let me see. Let me see if I can share. I won't be able to. I might be able to put them side by side. I don't think so. Um, but let me replace so we can see. Yeah, this one. All right. So if you get a good mental picture of this tattoo, this is the state of it, and then this one, yeah. So here is this was the feedback, right? This one,
Was it that one?
I believe so.
Um,
It's like a little lighter around the head, isn't that right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. I think I can.
It was either that one or the first one that you showed where guy did make a few comments and leave a little bit of feedback on it.
Well, then this one is a different one.
Yes. Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's definitely different than the first one that you pulled up.
Well, I love that there's so much continuity, but I really like this bit of space that you were able to leave right here around the head. I think that
Yeah,
is
that
very well
tiny
done.
skin break right around it,
Yeah.
really just helps push whatever you want in the foreground forward.
It
It's
takes a lot of discipline, I think, to be
to
able to
not go right up
hold
to the
back.
edge. Yeah.
Yeah, to have some reserve. So this one, I think is very successful, and I like like the way that you prioritize the head. It does really start to pop off the skin in a really interesting way. So yeah, there's some really well done aspects to this tattoo. But I think that your work is keeps getting better. That's something that I
Well,
definitely
thank
want
you.
to. We've been hanging out for years now. Actually,
Yeah.
isn't that funny? We've been
Yeah.
hanging out for
Yeah.
years, and we've been watching each other's careers, and we've been watching each other develop as artists, and it has been a pleasure. It's been an honor, and I'm really glad to see you have so much success. Your teacher, your conventioneer, you've got a great crew that you surround yourself with. So
Absolutely.
I am again, it's been a real pleasure and an honor to have you on the show today. I want to
Well,
invite
thank you.
anybody, if you're out there, please feel free to hit us up in the chat and ask Jason any questions. But of course, if you didn't get a chance to catch us live right now, you're going to be able to see Jason host his own show
Yes.
in just a couple of short hours.
Yep. In about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, I will be going live. I do host the Skill Building Monday drawing group here live on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network every Monday at noon. Unless, unforeseen circumstances dictate I can't make it, or, doesn't happen that week. So feel free to go through and take a look. That's every Monday at noon here live on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network. Today I've got a very special guest coming in to talk, and that is Mickey Schlick, who we will be talking about critiques. We will be talking about technology. We will be talking about, progression in the industry, advancement, how technology can impact all of that, and a whole lot more. And I'm really, really excited for the interview. So tune in today. That's in about 2 hours here on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network. Come, be prepared with questions. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a great show.
Amazing. Yeah, we've had Mickey on here several times.
Yes.
Had a chance to meet Mickey in person too. He's
Mm-hmm.
super cool. He's a fantastic tattooer, but he's also just a wizard with the technology. So
Yes.
he's definitely one to watch, I believe. Anyway, I put a QR code here for Mickey. It's at the bottom of the screen. You can, if you're really excited about checking out
Yeah.
Mickey's work before the show, here you go. I also I know Mickey's going to plug some upcoming events that he'll be working, so you can catch him. He works out in Montana,
Yes.
beautiful Missoula, Montana. So if you're ever out in Montana, look him up. But again, he may be coming to a town near you. So yeah, friend of the show, Mickey Schlick. I'm really excited about your upcoming interview with him. What we got here? Yeah. Oh, thanks, Mickey.
Oh,
Of
and Mickey's
course.
watching today?
Yeah,
Of
Mickey's
course he
watching.
is.
Of course, because
Okay, we can't let he go too
he's
big.
cool like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, of
he's
course.
he's cool. He's a cool dude,
He's all
cool.
right.
He's all right. Yeah.
No, it's again like you were saying before about this whole community thing that we got going on. Uh, it's a network. There's a network of individuals who again have a shared interest, and I think if you're out there, if you're watching this at all, you're in.
Yeah,
You're into it.
pretty
Right?
much.
So join us in these live stream and real world events because we always love meeting new people and talking shop. We talk shop all the time. We're nerds, right? We're
Yeah,
tattoo nerds,
pretty
art nerds.
much.
It's all what's all we do. It's because it's important to us. But I
Right.
think that's the tattooer that you really want. You want somebody who's really interested in bettering themselves, continuing their education, and as well as cares about the end product, which of course is our client, right? That's our actual product, is the client. So I think we've had a fantastic show. I can't wait to go back and rewatch it, pull out some of the nuggets, the gems.
Yes.
But
Yes.
But Jason, thank you again for being here. Where can we find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Philly Inc. You can also find me on TikTok at Philly Inc. Um, you can find me in most social media places at Philly Inc. Uh, or you can always email me, Jason at reinventingthetattoo.com, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Um, so, yeah. Or you can also find me at Hell City. I'll be there in May. It's going to be awesome. Book your appointments now. Yep. The Tattoopreneur Conference. Did I say that right? Yep.
Yeah,
Be teaching
totally.
at that. Paradise Gathering. That's going to be an awesome one. And then I usually cap off the end of the year with the Puerto Rico Tattoo Convention. So you can find me at that as well.
Amazing. Okay. Well, you're all over the place. You're worldwide, and so hopefully we'll catch you coming up at noon on
Yes.
Reinventing the Tattoo Network. Thank you, Jason Leeser. Again,
Thank you
it
very
was a
much.
pleasure to catch up with you. Thank you for looking at my drawing. Thank
You're
you for
very welcome.
sharing your tattoos and artwork with us. I'm James. This is Drawing for Tattooers. We want to thank Gabe at Tattoo Now. Tattoo Now is technology for tattooers. They have CRMs, mailing lists that are competitive with any suite of software out there. So if you want to really communicate effectively, make sure to check out Tattoo Now. Ask for Gabe. I also want to plug an upcoming interview I have with Dr. John Swerk. This is an incredible episode from the Reinventing the Tattoo archive. Check it out and learn more about the science of tattoo inks, very important subject. You can find me at Tattooing Wisdom on the internet, my website. This has been Drawing for Tattooers. Thanks, Guy, for being the founder and
Thank you.
inspiration behind the Reinventing the Tattoo Network. We love this space, and we really appreciate you, uh, again, making it available to us. So, happy drawing, everybody, and we will see you next stream.